So this is a mock portfolio that we have been tracking since October of last year. Now, every year I like to pick 8 assets that I think are going to perform the best over the coming 12 months. This year I did something different though. I decided to track the price performance of each asset simply with the idea to see of how much can really be made. Can you really take 10,000 and turn it into 100,000 in crypto? Well, the information that we've gotten from studying this portfolio over the last few months tells me that the answer is yes. Now, I know portfolio management is not the sexiest thing in crypto, but I'm telling you, if you're trying to avoid getting wrecked, this knowledge is very important to have. So let's jump into the data. Now, if this is your first time being here, we started each asset with $1,000, $1,500 into stable coins. That gave us a starting value of $9,500. And this is tracking data from October 10th of last year. Now, I've been so secretive about who the top performer was because this asset has been getting a lot of flack recently. As a matter of fact, I tried to do a transaction on this network myself in the last 48 hours and it didn't work. This was after they said they fixed everything. But the numbers don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. Our top performer is Solana with an all-time profit of 579%. Can't beat that, ladies and gentlemen. But it makes sense when you look at our entry points, and that's what we're going to get into right now. So we got into Solana at 22 bucks. You see the price right now, and it's looking like it's moving up in the last hour or so. But we got in right before the relationship that they set up with Dubai, out with the Dubai Multi-Commodity Center. If you don't know, I'll leave a link to that video. Maybe it's the pinned comment. I'll figure it out later. But basically, ever since they set up that relationship, the price has been going crazy. And like I said, a lot of people have been giving Solana heat, but again, the numbers don't lie. A lot of people will say that's from VC funding. It's some shady money back there. I haven't confirmed it myself, so I'm not providing an opinion on that. Our next best performing asset would be Immutable X. That was an enjoyable ride. We got in at around 53 cents, and then all of a sudden they partnered with everyone. They just started dropping everything, and they also hit the market with some innovation in the form of the Immutable Passport, which is already being copied by other gaming projects. So still got faith in Immutable, guys. It's just from a content creation perspective, blockchain gaming ain't got as lot of traction as compared to, you know, the utility coins like XRP, XDC, so forth and so on, right? I've even been hearing a lot about Quant. Man, they're making some moves. On that note, stick around to the end of this because I got a surprise for you guys. Set up a new portfolio tracking a new list of coins. You're going to be interested in that. So let's talk about our blue chips though. Bitcoin, Ethereum, we got in pretty decently. Bitcoin, we got in at 27,000 and Ethereum 1578. Took a little bit for them to start moving, but once they did, we saw some pretty decent numbers, up 100% on ETH and 138% on BTC. Now, in a minute, we're going to look at performance, profit, and loss, right? I learned something about our performance against BTC when it comes to the comparison of the alts against Bitcoin. I'll explain it in a little bit better in a moment, but let's look at our utility coins here. HBAR, XLM, XDC, they're in hibernation right now. Among the three though, HBAR has taken the lead. And the only reason that XDC is shown as the worst performer is because we slipped below our entry point, which you can see is at 4 cents here. So with that, I don't expect that to last very long. I really don't. There's a lot of energy coming into the XDC ecosystem. And something else that has dawned on me too, you know, there are only 450 million people worldwide that have ever heard of crypto. And the majority of them have only ever heard of Bitcoin. So just keep that fact in mind when you're wondering why, man, it feels like these prices just aren't moving. Well, only 4.5% of the planet knows they exist. So there's that, guys. Now, in the last 90 days, we did set another all-time high. As a matter of fact, on March 13th, guys, during my hiatus, we broke 30,796 Now, do I think we timed this perfectly? Yes, I do. We, like I said, started this on October 10th. Now, the reason I picked October is because that's the month that I got into crypto. October 2019, October 19th, 2019 specifically. I'll never forget it, guys, because Bitcoin was pumping and I bought a little bit, went back to it a few hours later, and it was double the amount that I put in. I was hooked on crypto. I was really hooked on crypto from that moment. But something else has popped out to me as well. So October being the sweet spot, I started doing this Elite 8 list in 2020. And in the last 3 years, 2 out of the last 3 years, we've gotten October in 2021 and 2023. So that had me curious. So what I had to do was go over to the handy dandy trading view. Now, I know a lot of you are like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait, don't do charts. Well, just like you, when I first got into the space, that's all you saw. That's all I saw. Okay. The game was much the same back then. So I got a little bit of exposure to how to trade and the importance of it. Now, you're only going to see one indicator on this chart. These are Bollinger Bands. They were invented by John Bollinger. It's the only one I use because it's the only one that makes sense to me. These bands simply indicate highs and lows in a given time period. And when you look at Bitcoin on the monthly, you find out some very interesting information, specifically around the month of October. Now, let's go back to October of 2018. You'll see here, red candle. Okay. But you go over to October of 2019. When I entered the space, we have a green candle. All right, so we're 1-1 right now. But let's go over to 2020. And you can see here, big green candle. That green candle led us into the post-halving rally 4 years ago. That rally pretty much changed this market. And it started in October. So let's jump over to next year, October of 2021. Again, very huge candle. This candle pushed us to that all-time high that we then, cascaded down from. But October, again, let's go over to 2022 in the depths of the bear market. October, another green candle. So right now we are 3-1 since 2018. Okay. So let's jump over to 2023. And what do we have here? Yet again, a very, very big green candle bouncing off of that support, which is that middle line, that middle orange line. That's a support level. So we bounced off that and haven't gone back since. Now, past performance is not an indicator of future results. I understand that, but we're dealing with mathematics here. And when we're dealing with math, it's all about patterns. Okay. Numbers speak in patterns. So if we're judging by that same pattern, here's how I see the next 8 months playing out here. It's going to get real volatile. It's going to get real messy. In May, expect a heavy crash, because if you go back through the same timeline, every month in May, we took a very steep step down. So I expect that to happen again, but we make it to October. Sky's the limit, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's talk about here the performance metrics against the market, ladies and gentlemen. When we hit that all-time high on March 13th, our all-time profit was about 204%. BTC's trend was only at 176%. And what I have learned is this is just simply an indication of the performance of our portfolio with BTC against BTC's performance against the market. So BTC, at the time we hit an all-time high, was up 176%. We were up 204%. So what that showed me is that having BTC in your portfolio counts. Okay, that's what that means, guys. So I feel like that this metric in another few months is going to give us another deeper set of information. So we'll move over to the allocations, because this is where I found some more juicy information. Now, you'll see the ratios here. Solana's at the top, followed by Immutable, Chronos, Bitcoin, etc. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm holding the majority of Solana. These ratios represent a weighted value of an asset in your portfolio. Now that, and knowing that, what you can do here is set benchmarks. So with Solana being at 29%, if we get up to 40%, okay, I can start selling off. I can start taking some profits, or I can start moving profits into the lighter weighted assets down at the bottom of the list. Also, if you take a look at USDC here, that 4.9%, that's not a lot of capital. I don't like the way that looks. So now seeing my ratios, I can make the decision and be like, okay, time to put in some more stable coins. And like I said, I'm expecting volatility at least until the fall. So accumulating stable coins would be your best option. Of course, it's not financial advice, as they say. So with that, guys, like I said, just to recap, I'm expecting shaky markets until the fall. Solana being our top performer, I don't think we need to do anything with our Solana bag. Just let it live. If we move up to, let's say we hit a $200 price point, oh yeah, then we're going to do some reallocation, which we'll see in these videos. That's for sure. Utility coins, when it comes to them, let them sleep. Let them hibernate. That's more time to accumulate. Your HBARs, your Stellars, your XDC. We know what's going on behind the scenes. So we don't have to worry about the rest of the market for real. And again, October, we're going to keep our eyes on October, because if it happens again this year, that's 5-1. That's 5 times out of the last 6 years. And I also just realized I've been in crypto 6 years. That's sweet. But 5 out of the last 6 years? Come on now. That's got to be an indicator of some sort. So with that, guys, if you made it to the end, I'm going to show you the surprise here. So I just set up a new portfolio, guys, and this one is the ISO 20022 crypto portfolio. Now, these are the assets that stem from the original Interledger Protocol family document that started this entire discussion. All right, and I'll pull this up on the screen for you right here. If you're wondering where the ISO narrative came from, it started with this image, and I have done the research to find out who put this image together. You're owed a lot of credit, sir, because the entire market is now depending on that information that you put together. Okay, got a lot of content in the pipeline. Y'all guys know I do, but as you can see here, we got those assets from that protocol family, including USDC. One of you asked me recently, what's the biggest difference between USDC and Tether? And it really opened an entire Pandora's box of information. Okay, can't wait to share that with you. But yes, USDC, XDC, Stellar, IOTA, XRP, it's here. We get to track XRP, Quant, and Algorand, and we did 5,000, and I split that 5,000 divided by 7. That put about $715 roughly into each asset. So very interested to see how these are going to grow over the next few months. If you want to watch them too, you're going to have to hit the subscribe button and leave a like, so that way more people can see this video and we can expand the discussion even more. With that, that's all I got for you. If you're looking to pick up some crypto, I'm using Uphold. Link to that will be in the description. After I buy that crypto on Uphold, I move it to my hardware wallet, which is also linked in the description for you. We're using SafePal, they're a channel partner. So if you use the link in the description, I do get compensated. I'm thanking you in advance. With that, y'all know what time it is. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.